I am giving away this Toronto Ultra jersey. Boy, you guys are seeing a little bit behind the scenes. I like that. But yo, guys, it's Borito here. If you are interested in a Toronto Ultra jersey like this, extra large, by the way. Here's the front. Here's the back. All you have to do is follow me on Twitch, follow me on X, and sub to the YouTube. And once you are done that, go into these Discord text channels, post all 3 screenshots plus your YouTube name, and you are officially entered in to win this Toronto Ultra jersey. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Exact same thing with the Money 8s that we got going on May 30th. All you have to do is follow me on Twitch, follow me on X, sub to YouTube, post the screenshots in the Discord text channel, and you're entered. I'm also going to be doing a lot of YouTube members only giveaways as well, but they don't have the requirements that all you guys have. But for everybody else, for most of my giveaways, it's follow on Twitch, follow on Twitter, sub to YouTube. So if you're staying followed and subbed on all those platforms, you're going to be eligible for every giveaway. All you have to do is re-enter when we do the next giveaway. There's going to be a lot of giveaways coming. If you want this Ultra jersey, if you want to feel so Ultra, all you got to do is enter. Now back to the video. Thanks for the support. Woo!
That's a win and a half. Scrap wins it. It's going. It's going. Halfway to the final tick. 2 players here from FaZe trying to fight. They're going to drop them. They're going to win it. It's back to back for the LA Thieves, your Major IV champ.
Bienvenue, it's your boy Borito, back again with another episode of the Borito Talk podcast, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube. I just thought I'd do a nice quick hour episode, just an hour episode, just talking about the major, going quickly through teams. There's a lot of cool topics today that I want to talk about. Not even just concerning like the top 8 teams, but also everybody else. And I'm gonna start it with Cloud9. So I'm just gonna pull up just a random game of Cloud9 while I talk about them. So I made this take about Dante, but I'm not sure if I posted it on social media or not. So I said I think that Dante is best suited being like a star role player and not the main superstar on a team, because when he's the main superstar on the team, it's just not the same as Hydra. Most of the time the superstars on the team are the SMGs because they're the playmakers. They do everything on the map. They make the map easier. It's like Neptune when he came into Vancouver. You see how one good SMG superstar player could transform a team, not an AR. And he's trying to be that as an AR. And you see how it's affecting everyone else around him and how they aren't getting the results that they need. I always felt like Dante is best suited, especially after seeing it with my own eyes, in MW3 when he joined NYSL. Obviously, like the first half of the year, you could say it was a bit like iffy. But the second half of the year, that was peak Dante, I feel. That was peak Sib. He was most hill time, most interactions, most damage. Like, he was putting shit down. I feel like a person with that talent and that gun skill should be everywhere near the objective and not away from it. You know, there's other players on the team that can play away. You know, if you have like a Hydra on your team, there's players that can play away from the objective, keep pressure off like certain areas of the map. But I feel like Dante should be... I mean, he's pretty much in the mix a lot. Like, the common denominator with Sib, like pretty much every series, is he's always up there for damage. If he's not the top damage, he's up there for the top damage. He's never lowest or second lowest on his team. He's always up there. I mean, in this one, he's below by like 70 points, doesn't count. But he is a damage dealer. And I'm just thinking, someone that shoots that straight, you put him near an objective, because there's a lot of objective players that just do not do good. And an asterisk that comes with being an objective player is your KD's most likely going to take a hit because the whole other team is coming after you because you're playing the objective, like hardpoint. You're the guy on the hill, you're going to be dying the most because you're not away from the hill. Everyone's spawning up. They're trying to get you off the time because they don't want you to get time. So there is an asterisk even for control, exact same thing. S&D, if you take the bomb, obviously there's only one bomb taker anyway, and it's usually like a second sub. I feel like Dante should be wherever the objective is. Like, dude, he's so good, but I don't think he's meant to be the superstar player on a team because that just brings... I honestly feel like that brings like the rest of the team down. Like, I made a joke about it because when Dante was having that terrible Major 1 qualifier where he's going ban for ban with King of Body, and then after the tournament coming into the next qualifier when they started to win and he got that first post-game interview, which I don't think he got in a while because they just weren't winning, Alley Cat asked him what changed, what's going on, and he's like, yeah, like now we have a system now, before we were just running around. And I knew exactly what he meant there. It was more like, most of y'all gotta hop in the hill, I'm gonna do my thing outside. That's what that meant, because I saw his KD, I saw his OBJ per 10 take a massive decline while everyone else is incline. I mean, even if we could pull this up here, let's take a look at the OBJ per 10. So obviously Capsule just came in, the team doesn't really count, but significantly lower OBJ per 10 than everyone else on the team, obviously besides Cramp, but Attach had a lot of OBJ per 10. Max went up significantly. I even like did the thing where I like checked out where I checked off the box for the Major 1 qualifiers, and you can see like the difference in OBJ per 10, how everyone else's increased and his did not. Yeah, I just feel like he's meant to be a role player. I know that may be hard for his ego to take, but you could be a superstar role player. Like, everyone thinks that Dante's incredible, even though Cloud9 has this terrible year. Everyone still knows what Dante's capable of. Like, Dante could shoot against the best on his best day. He can honestly take over if he really wants to. And that's why I think a lot of people are throwing out the Vegas Falcons, because Priesta, also a role player, just not good anymore. I mean, he needs to go back to Challengers or just stop playing entirely, because he has not been good in, honestly, like half a decade. And it's actually crazy and honestly impressive how he's actually on team still. But that's another point entirely. And it took another, I even made a tweet about this, it took another non-NA player superstar to hard carry him to a LAN win. And even on LAN, like all of the Major 4, I'm just like switching now. Even all of like this tournament, Priesta didn't have one good game at all. Even when they won, didn't have a good game. Like, this guy is just doing nothing. I know he's probably doing like, you know, some intangibles on the map, but bro, ARs cannot be consistently dropping 0.8s. It's not going to help anyone. Like, the SMGs can't do everything. The SMGs do a lot of it, but they can't. But ARs can't be dropping 0.8s, especially when there's a lot of pre-aiming. You just can't. You just can't. At that point, you're actually throwing. It's one thing if it's an SMG, but even then as SMG, like 0.8s averaging that is really low and below par. But as an AR, should not be averaging an 0.8. I could even pull it up here. I'll pull up every Vegas Falcons series. I'm going to be going all over the place, but, you know, this is a fun hour podcast. At the end of the night, I'm just, like, recording this shit. And then I'm going to do a more structured podcast probably on the weekend, going through a lot more detailed things. But this one just for fun, you know. You guys like hearing me yap, you know, some extra content. But in this series, so Vegas Falcons 3-2 Vancouver Surge. Priesta, 69, 83. 3K less damage than AG, who had 102 kills in the series and a 1.334. So AG had 12K damage. Priesta had 9K, like significantly lower than everyone on his team. People have 11K. He's got 9K. That's just way too low. and even the Rokkr series. I can pull up the Rokkr series here. Pretty much probably going to be the exact same thing. So Priesta here again, even worse. 66 and 92, has significantly more damage. Like, he's around the same damage as the rest of his team, but at 0.72, just can't have that from your ARs, bro. You just can't have that. Just can't have that. You look at the ARs on the other team. 87, 79, a 1.10 from Geo, 1.07 from Kenny. You just can't have that from your ARs on a consistent level. And even if I pull up Priest's card here, I'm going to pull up his card. And his overall KD is at 0.87 this season. It's the 51st in the league. S&D KD, 0.87. Number 43 in the league. Control KD, 0.85. 53rd in the league. Hardpoint KD, 0.88. 51st in the league. So he is literally at the bottom of the league for pretty much almost every like, this is bad. Like, this is really, really, really bad. And you look at these Slayer ratings, 65, 70, 67, 51. And then he had like one good one against Miami during like a qualifier. But I'll pull up his event stats even. We'll even pull up his event stats. You can probably see how crazy bad these are. I mean, dude, not good, man. Not good from a player. Not good from a player that keeps getting on teams. Okay, so Major 1 qualifier. Overall KD, 0.94. Not super bad, but, you know. 0.95 KD in hardpoint. 0.80 in S&D. And at 0.95 in control. This guy does not have, like, positive KDs and, like very rarely. And then the Major 1 tourney. This is where there's some improvement. A 1.01. And then a hardpoint KD was a 1.14. And then control KD was a 0.78. S&D has been pretty much negative everything except for the Major 4 qualifier where he was even for 1. And then Major 2 qualifier, 0.85. Major 2 tourney, 0.63. 0.92 Major 3 qualifier. Major 3 tourney, 0.63. Granted, probably only played one game anyway. I mean, most of these are like one game for the tournaments. Major 4 qualifier, 0.83. Major 4 tournament at 0.77. His hardpoint KD this last tournament was at 0.62. And his OBJ per 10 was a 46. So he is literally doing nothing on the map. Like, do you understand these statistics? He's literally doing nothing. You don't even... An 0.62 in hardpoint for KD and then a 46 OBJ per 10, you're literally contributing nothing. Averaging 16 kills per 10 minutes in hardpoint. Unbelievable statistics I'm reading for the Major 4 tourney. Unbelievable statistics. Like, dude, this is really bad. Really bad. And then, I mean, obviously it was like a one-game tourney, but his S&D KD for that one, even though it was only a game, was a 0.29. Major 3 qualifiers, S&D KD, 0.85. Major 2 tourney, 0.89. Major 2 qualifier, 0.93, not bad. Yeah, but these statistics are not flattering, like, at all. Like, this is really, 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 really bad. The one positive, though, is that the Major 4 tourney, his control KD was a 1.10. But that is like a vast overperformance compared to every other tournament. Like, it's the only tournament he's at a positive, only tournament and qualifier where he's at a positive control KD. Insane, dude. Dude, he's averaging 15 kills per 10 in control. That's a whole game, by the way. And a lot of these games go 3-2 too. Like, they played a lot of Vault. And Hacienda, you're averaging 15. I mean, it's not super bad, but it's... I mean, most people are up there in like the 20s, 30s, dude. It's like fucking control. But, dude, really, really bad stuff. I mean, this guy gotta go, dude. This guy gotta go. We'll see what he does in Challengers, if he even decides to go in Challengers, or maybe he might just follow Attach's lead. I mean... whatever floats his boat, but man, those are rough statistics, bro. This guy cannot be in, like, he is literally taking up a league spot. Like, not even trying to be mean. He is actually legitimately taking up a league spot. There was people like Mercs in challengers and people like Priesta were in the league. Like you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, Merc was literally sitting in challengers this whole time. Came in, you see the difference he makes in the league. Dude, this guy's a 1.72 in control. Like, this guy transformed Optic. He's hard carrying the whole Optic team, obviously except for Hook. But he's hard carrying them. He made them so much better. There's players like that in challengers right now. And we have motherfuckers like Priesta taking up a spot in the league. Like, that cannot happen. People need to be more proactive. I mean, absolute terrible decision. I mean, they literally had Pro Loot on the team, but they opted to go for Priesta. Big mistake, and now you're seeing it. Just absolutely unbelievable. I can't even believe my eyes. Let's talk about Rokkr a bit. I mean, obviously they got 3-0 by Miami, but then this game against Boston, I mean, so Rokkr actually made it a lot further than I thought. I didn't think they're going to make it as far as they did, to be honest. I mean, Boston definitely should have won this vault, and we're also going to get into Boston as well, since we're going to talk about both of them. So I'm going to start with Boston first. I mean, everyone already knows this. This has just been a friendship team all year. This has just been friends that played together in challengers, wanted to give it a good run this year. Even when they're doing bad, the highs and the lows, when they're doing good, you know, it's fine. But they did bad a majority of the time, and they didn't want to make a change. They wanted to stay friends. It kind of honestly feels like 4 guys knowing if any of them get dropped, they're probably, except for Purge and Snoopy. Obviously, Snoopy's pretty much untouchable. And Purge, I feel like Purge would actually get another shot, to be honest. Somewhere else, maybe. But pretty much, it felt like a team where they're trying to protect each other. Like, if any of them get dropped, the chances of them probably getting back are not that high. So it just kind of felt like they're protecting each other all year. And, I mean, that's not really that great. But, I mean, they're 29-29 in hardpoint overall in the season, 23-26 S&D, 14-21 in control. I feel I don't talk to him. I have no idea what he's thinking. I'm going to tell you what I think he's thinking, okay? I think Purge in his heart of hearts believes he could get on a way better team. I feel like he thinks he's way better than this team, and I'm not even saying that in a bad way, because I've seen multiple events, multiple games where the team around him has hard costed, and I mean every single player is a culprit. Awakening has been a culprit at multiple times. Cammy has, Snoopy has, maybe Purge sometimes in an S&D, but Boston was already losing at that point. But I mean, there was some crazy overchalls by Purge and S&D, but I don't think it was anything that like lost him the game. But everyone on this team has been a culprit of hard costing a game. And I remember just seeing like that one clip I made into a YouTube video that shit actually popped off, like about how Purge was like so frustrated when like Snoopy was like, he was like pinching on vault control or like something like that. It was like on a round where Purge was doing everything in that control round on defense. He was doing everything and they still lost the round. This guy's like, what do I gotta do, man? Like, doing everything and we're just doing stupid shit. He's like actually saying we're doing stupid shit. I feel like he thinks he could get on a better team. And the reason why I know this is because I'm harping back to the time where he egoed Clay, like, I don't want to play with you. Like, I think I could do way better than you. I feel like he has like that confidence in him. I'm not even saying it in a bad way, like it's a bad thing at all. I do agree with him if he's actually fucking thinking it, that he is way better than this team. I mean, obviously, except for Snoopy, but Snoopy's still prone to mistakes, but I think it's mostly an AR thing. Snoopy makes a lot of like great plays. I think this year his great plays have outweighed his bad plays. But he has been a culprit for some mistakes. But I mean, I feel like Purge thinks he could do better. And this is where I want to bring Rokkr into it. This is where I want to enter Rokkr into the chat, because Rokkr made a very good run this tournament, but I mean, this whole year for them has been a disappointment. Just a disappointment. Took way too long to make a change. And when they made the change, took them all to adjust. They were trolling a lot of games. Like the very first qualifier when they got Kenny, like 3 or 4 of those games were winnable. And they just found a way to lose. They didn't want to win them. And that's like 40 valuable points that if you add on, like right now, so if we look at the standings, I should open up multiple tabs. I don't know why I don't multiple tabs. That 40 points right now from those 4 games that they choked would have put them ahead of Boston right now. And they would have been at 205 and they would have made champs. Like, just examples like that. And even throughout the year, I mean, they were bad for so long. Like, a lot of their hardpoint wins were them, like, down by a lot. And somehow the other team just trolling and them coming back. I mean, you got to tip the grit. But at the same time, as we're finding out, not a sustainable way to fucking win, you know? Not a sustainable way to win. And I'm going to be going all over the place here. Because now I'm looking at the statistics. Nero had 117. This is a Nero scoreline if I've ever seen one. 117 and 103. Like, a lot of kills and a lot of deaths. Like, that's what Nero gives you. But this is the reason why you don't drop Nero, because Nero has the ability, like, to do shit like this, and we're finally seeing it. Like, took a little bit too long, buddy. Like, where was this at, like, Major 1, 2, 3, you know? Like, we needed this, like, a long time ago. But, yeah, sure, I'll wait till the last Major. I feel this Rokkr team is just very inconsistent. They're very novice. They make a lot of mistakes that I felt like with Kenny and Looney both together, a coach helping you in the VOD, in the scrims, and an experienced player also calling shit out, that we'd be seeing a lot less mistakes. Things would be cleaned up and it would be a well-oiled machine. But, I mean, there's just certain players, dude. There's a lot of players. I'm not just talking about in the Pro League, but just in general. There's a lot of players that have bad habits, and they're just going to have them for the rest of the time that they play, and they just can't shake them off. There's just players like that have habits of things that, you know, if they got rid of or worked on, they would probably be a way better player, but it's just in their nature. It's just in their nature. Like, you know, it's almost like that thing. It's like the frog and the snake, or like, I forgot that story about helping him cross like the bridge, and then the frog goes across the bridge and like the snake bites him, or whatever animal, I forgot what animal, and then like the frog asks him why he did it, and he says it's in his nature. Like, a lot of these players, it's just in their nature. Like, these things that they do on the map are just things like, if Kenny and Looney can't shake that off, who's gonna shake that off? And I think that's going to ruin a lot of their stock and their potential. Maybe in the future, maybe next year, they improve and get better. But, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are going to see this year, and this team's probably going to be, like, one of the teams next year that's, like, last to, like, basically get, like, the scraps and have to put together a roster. That's honestly what it feels like. Because I think they're basically showing the rest of the league they're just not ready for that next step, you know? There's certain players like Nero and Geo, because the league desperately lacks ARs, so a lot of these ARs that are at least shooters are going to have a chance, because this league, dude, there's an AR deprivation in this league, okay? There's a, like, for SMGs, like, we're pretty much good. You could probably maybe swap out like a couple, like, you know, like a few, like 4 at the max, but most of them are pretty much good. But there's a big AR like discrepancy in the league. Like, there's a lot of bad ARs that could be replaced, and we need a lot better ARs, and we'll make a lot of teams way better. But there's not really that many MCs kicking around, not many scraps kicking around. But if you do find any of them, like Merc, for example, you got to pick them up, dude. You just need better ARs. We see now transformed optic, and I mean, and it's not just about being a good AR, it's about being a smart AR, because AR players need to be smart, because there's a lot of decision making. Like, you're the backbone of the team, even if you're a flex or a main. There's a lot of, like, it's like these angles that you're watching and these rotational cutoffs that you're getting, very important. Like, very important to, like, the backbone of your team succeeding in the game, which is why it's very important to have a good AR. You have an AR that can't win his gunfights, doesn't know what spots to play, doesn't know what spots to hold. Like, you know, if you don't and doesn't know how to also be quick at the same time and hard shell and, be able to pop two pieces. If you can't find an AR like that, I mean, there's not many ARs like that. I mean, Geo has potential for it, but, there's the other side of the game, the mental side. Hasn't had it down yet. He's pretty new. Obviously came in last year MW3, so obviously needs some more years to grow. So he's definitely going to be getting other opportunities. Estrel, I think, because his ceiling's high, will get opportunities. Nero. I'm very interested to see if this team sticks. If I had to guess, I know Kenny would probably be gone. He's probably going to be gone. Maybe if he's feeling generous, he might take one player with him, because Kenny, regardless of the year he had, still has a high stock. People know he's a natural-born winner. He's a vet, brings experience, brings mentality, and he knows how to win. And those intangibles in this league are very important to a lot of teams. So his stock is going to remain the same, which is pretty typical how his stock remains the same even after that blunder first half of the year. But it's just a matter of if he's feeling generous to bring anyone along, or even the ultimate generosity, staying on the team, which I don't think he's doing. But if he brings someone along, or if he's like, yeah, I'm out of here, I'm going to go play with someone else, but it was a pleasure playing with you boys. Like, like, we'll see. We'll see about that one. I'll probably get more into that during the weekend. I don't want to spend too much time on that stuff. But as for Boston, I mean, even their champs' hopes is kind of done, because now they get LA Thieves first round. You got to think you're getting knocked down, and then probably not going to make it that far in losers. So they're pretty much probably going to be chalked, because I think they're going to play the loser of Vancouver, Miami. Not looking good for them. So, because I'm just already going to assume that they're going to lose to LAT, because now it's like the end of the year. We're seeing the final form of LAT, and I don't think they're going to troll the Boston again. And even when Boston did beat them, like, LA Thieves was trolling that game so hard, but Boston is such a bad team that they kept giving them opportunities to get back in the game, but LA Thieves just couldn't, which is hilarious. Like, this team's handing you a win, and then you're trying to hand it back. That's honestly what it felt like. But yeah, Boston gotta, I mean, like, that org gotta blow it up. I mean, obviously the rooms are probably gonna get bought out, but yeah, that team gotta go, man. Those 4 players, man. I mean, I know they're all players that have potential, but I think, like, Awakening and Cammy, like, that should be, like, the end of the road there for that one. I know they're probably going to still keep playing, but there's way better players that can replace you. So, yeah. Way better players that can replace them. Honestly, even Diamond Con, like, first thing comes on my head, dude, he could replace any of those guys. Now I want to get to Vancouver. First, I'm going to take a drink of my water. I'm sorry. I hate whenever I, like, hear podcasts and it's just, like, dead air. I should actually, like, put that in my notes. 26 minutes. So I'll probably get more into this when I do the analysis on stream and everything. Long story short, I think Vancouver lost this game, and then, I mean, I think this series just sucked the wind out of them, because you want to know what I'm thinking? Like, this is what I'm actually thinking about the Vancouver thing. I'm thinking they had the whole week to prepare for LA Thieves. They knew they were playing them. They were finally thinking, we're going to get our revenge. They're probably plotting. They're going through what maps they're going to play. Like, they're doing extra homework. They're doing whatever it takes to try to beat this team. And they probably, I'm not even going to say overly prepared, like, but they prepared very well for this game. And then all that preparation resulted in a 30-minute 3-0. And I think when you prepare so hard for a series and then you just get the reality check of all reality checks, your confidence is at an all-time low. And looking at the players on this team, Abuza, his second year, 04, just started playing hardpoint like last year. Second year, Nasty, obviously been playing for like a while, like since like Vanguard. I mean, he's probably been playing challenges before that. I'm talking about Pro League. And then Neptune obviously been in the Pro League before. But I think this is the team of 4 players. And no, okay, I actually didn't even finish that. I think it's a team of 4 players who just don't have that don't have the grit, don't have that experience. Like there's a certain level of maturity and experience, and it's only LA Thieves and FaZe that have it. Like that level of experience and composure that when things aren't going well in a game, you still could bring it back on the next map. Like you get slaughtered first map, but you all of a sudden pull out a second game or like a third game and you keep in the series. I think a lot of these teams, like if they get beat down, it's usually over. Like it's usually over. We saw it with Carolina even. And the only 2 teams in the league, that's why it's a 2-team league. And that's why I said my pre-season predictions was Optic was not going to win anything this season, which, I mean, I'm looking ahead to be pretty bang on about that. And I said LA Thieves and FaZe are trading every event. And so far, with 1 event left to go, they've traded every event. So, I mean, it's just a skill diff. It's just a skill diff. Like, you have players like Hydra who are literally not fazed by anything. Like, I've already said this on stream and, like, amongst the people I talk Call of Duty with, Hydra has the most composure in the league. Hydra's, like, the most composed player in the league. And I know he hates playing against fuck Shotzzy. And every time Shotzzy shoots him in the back or does some annoying shit on him, it would be very easy to get tilted and just be like, dude, like, I'm just checked. This guy, Hydra, is just so sure of himself. Like, he knows he's, like, the best player in the world. And he's just, like, not fazed by anything. Like, you have players like that, players like Scrap, players like Ghosty, Envoy, like, the experience, the maturity of everyone on the team, knowing even if you go down, it's still possible. Vancouver doesn't have that at all. Like, at all. Even, hate to have to bring it up, even Rambo, I mean, if you want to talk about, like, that 2014 Call of Duty Ghost COD Champs, dude, that was a DoorDash. They got smoke first map, and it was just over from there. The crowd was quiet. Like, they're just playing the game at that point. Like, just rolled over and died. Like, that Champs Finals was depressing. But, I mean, it's just like a team of 4 players that don't have that ice. Don't have that regained composure on them. You have a lot of new players on the team and a lot of players that are so used to losing and not being able to come back that they just don't have that in them. They may have gone like some comeback maps, you know, like back in the day, like Nasty on LAT and MW3. I remember they had like a significant comeback on like Karachi, Hardpoint or something like that. But it's just a team, you know? And I'm glad that they lost this. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm glad that they lost this. Because they were probably thinking, and hold on, I got to take another sip of water. I feel like this 3-0 to LA Thieves was a reality check. Obviously, they made the upgrade from Neptune. They were frying. They were doing so well. All of a sudden, grand finals and minors, grand finals and majors. You know, they're now in the conversation top 3 team. Everyone's doing predictions. Yeah, Vancouver got that easily. At the beginning of the year, do you think we'd be saying, oh, yeah, like Optic, or I mean, oh, yeah, like fucking Vancouver has Optic. Like, yeah, they're not even trying. Like, they're fucking testing that. Like, they're testing map pool. When would we ever put Vancouver Surge and testing map pool in the same fucking sentence? Probably never, but it happened this year. So they became a really good team, a top team, and they probably just think that they had like the confidence. I mean, obviously, rightfully so. They had the confidence to think they could win because they, like, even that game 5 to Atlanta FaZe at the Major 3, like, or at like the Major 2, where it's like they could have won. If they won that winners final, like, who knows what would have happened in the grand finals? Who knows if they won that 5-5? But, gosh, I already lost my train of thought. Jeez, that was crazy how I just lost my train of thought. Okay, but, okay, oh yeah, I was on the reality check thing. Okay, on the reality check thing. This is a team that probably got overconfident with how well they're doing and probably was even thinking, yeah, in the offseason, probably not going to have to make any changes. Like, we're good. Like, we're a good team right now. They probably still think they are Because I remember Nasty, I just listened to that 37-minute Breaking Point podcast, and Zero said he talked to Nasty, and he said, we were due a bad event. You are due? What the? Who the fuck do you think you are? You're due. And honestly, I hate that mentality too. Like, oh, we're due for a bad event. Like, what is this juju, like, jinx, like, fuck tag, you're not it shit? Dude, you're not due a bad event. You only do a bad event if you don't prepare and you don't do well. That's the only way that it should do a fucking bad event. And the way I took that was they think they're so good that they were due to like a fluky loss or something. That's how it like felt. That's how it felt when I heard that. That's how I felt when I heard that. And I'm glad they got 3-0'd. I'm glad they got this reality check because they now know in order to make it to the next step, you have to upgrade. You don't have the personnel. You have the personnel like to place well, like to do good, but it's very clear now they don't have the personnel that's going to win and win championships. And honestly, I could honestly fast forward to it, but I'm going to talk about it later. Dude, okay. I don't think any team besides each other is beating LA Thieves or Atlanta FaZe in a best of 9. In a best of 9, I don't think anyone's beaten Atlanta FaZe or LA Thieves in a best of 9 series. I'm pretty sure in a best of 9 you play all 3 controls too. Or my cook, there's like a third hard point. I hope it's a third hard point. I think there's another S&D too. I forgot. I have to go look. But I don't think any team's beating any of those 2 in a best of 9 besides each other. So, pretty much every team's probably playing for third, second at the most, But I don't think any other team besides LA Thieves or Atlanta FaZe is going to win Call of Duty champ. So, that's just me, like, spoiling, like, all my future videos, like, ahead of time, whatever. God, this podcast is sloppy, dude. I'm just yapping. I'm just doing a yap session. I'm doing a fucking Breaking Point podcast. Have you ever heard one of those? Bro, this shit's so unorganized sometimes. But, it's a good listen because, you like hearing people talk about Call of Duty. Like, they're just all over the place. Yeah, and it's, like, late. I was, like, going to record this in the middle of the day, but I was like, I'm going to hit the gym. I'm at the gym. I'm going to upload a members-only video. I'm going to do that stuff, and then I'll record it when I get back. I get back so late. It's, like, 7:30. Next thing you know, it's 8 by the time you eat. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, how the story goes. But I think it's a good reality check for Vancouver. Like, the personnel on the team. And I think it's also like the game too. I think the game plays a big factor into this. Like, would this Vancouver team be a top 3 team in like a MW3? Probably not. They'd probably be like in the mid pack somewhere. So this game has a lot to do with it. Even when it comes to like Miami, like all 4 of those players are great at Black Ops 6, but can put that on MW3 or any other game. Will you get the same results? Probably not. Yeah, but a good reality check for Vancouver. That matchup against Miami in the first round is interesting. And if they win that, they're going to have to go against Los Angeles Thieves again. If you lose to them again, there's just no hope after that. But you got to focus on making it by Miami too. Because Miami, it's actually so funny because both Vancouver and Miami want to play LA Thieves so bad, and they both have to beat each other in order to get to that game, But obviously I'll get more to that when I talk about like the champs bracket, but just wanted to talk about most of the teams. So Miami. I think they showed they're obviously really good at S&D. Even heard Rokkr say he thinks they're the best S&D team in the world. But they're not the best control team in the world. And on a given day, they can lose a hard point. Their hard point's not solid. Like right now, their S&D is pretty much like their saving grace. They could beat like most of the average teams at hard point, but when it comes to like the top teams, I mean, they may get one, like sometimes, like, you know, or like in the case of Atlanta FaZe at the last major, like they beat them twice and 2 hard points, but then we saw this time around a way different story. So I think they need to work on their respawns. They need to get control good. Like if they have aspirations of winning, not just placing well, they need to get better at control, dude. They need to get better at control. Need to get better on a map that's not fucking Vault, okay? Get better at Prody, get better at Hossie, either or. But, I mean, and also, in terms of the Rookie of the Year, I think Renkor pretty much wrapped it up, honestly. We can even go through statistics, bro. I think he had like the 4th highest KD like this major because it was Hydra, Simp, and someone else ahead of him. I could even like pull it up right here. So for the stats, he had the 2nd highest Slayer rating. As for KD, he was number 5 with a 1.11. So I mean, he's doing his thing. I think he pretty much wrapped up the MVP, especially since he's been in the league longer than Super. So pretty much probably going to get that. Those are inflated stats against the Rokkr. If you're actually watching the video, this is inflated statistics if I've ever seen them. As for the Vegas Falcons, I mean, like they're out until EWC. They need to make changes. I mean, I usually don't like hopping on the same boat as everybody else, but I mean, I already said get Priest out of there, but it's more about I'm on the fence if I should agree with get rid of both of them. Like, I think if you just replace Priest, though, with, like, a better player, I think RCDs may be able to work, but that's just me. I think RC's actually a really good shooter, dude. Like, I think RC's actually could shoot really well, but, I mean, obviously, that's a prerequisite, honestly, anyway, but you gotta be able to do more, but he has a lot of negative series as well for an AR, which is not good, but, I mean, you are playing with AG and XNID, so there is a lot of babysitting to be had on the map, so that could be a very telling tale. Could be a very telling tale because it seems to be happening like quite often a lot when I'm looking at these series. Is like both SMGs are positive and the AR is negative. Okay, ours is positive in that one, but I mean, Priest is a permanent egg, dude. Priest is a permanent negative fucking KD. But as for Vegas Falcons, get rid of Priesta. If I see Priesta at EWC, I will. I mean, it's not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna shake my head. I'm honestly just gonna shake my head. If I see Priesta anywhere at EWC, I will lose my mind. What I think they should do is now that the regular season's over, see if you could talk to Cloud9. You know, there's some teams there you could actually talk to. Or dip into challengers as well. I would be playing with like the new team like this whole month while every pro team is scrimming. A lot of the pro teams don't want to scrim against each other because they're going to be playing each other in the bracket. Perfect time for a team like fucking Vegas, if you make AR changes, to come in and you get to scrim all these teams, get reps for a whole month going into EWC. Like, that's a good deal. That's definitely something to consider, to be honest. And I'm fucking seeing Ultra's name. I'm like, fuck, I actually do got to talk about him, hey? God, there's like so much to talk about. I'm like, oh, it's going to be an hour? Oh, shit. Okay, I'm going to talk about Ultra real quick, because I think I actually talked about a lot of teams here real quick. I got to just start doing more like YAP sessions like this. Just quick like YAP sessions, like unorganized chaos. So here's what I want to say about Ultra. Very disappointed in Beans. I don't care if he had like a good series here, but like, I mean, they still lost 3-1. Man, okay, so the thing about Beans here is this. So your visa doesn't work at Major 3, and you don't get let through the border. They send your ass back home. A guy named Merc comes in out of the blue, gets picked up, gives Ultra their best placing all year on no practice, outperforms usually what Beans did, makes Insight way better, makes pretty much the whole team way better. And then you go into the Ultra podcast and he's talking, oh yeah, it's like the system that he's in, da 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 da. And then you go and play Optic, and you go and play the guy who just outplaced you with your own team at the last major, by the way. So you go and play them, and you know everyone's watching. And you know it's a series that everyone's looking at, even your teammates. Because this the guy we decided to let go because we wanted to keep you on the team. Okay? Are you walking with me? And then you proceed to have a stinker. An 0.87. I mean, the statistics aren't that bad. I mean, actually, yeah, they are bad. But granted, Merc didn't have a good series either. But I mean, he's outplacing him at the tourney anyway. Dude, I swear I'm about to fucking pass out the chair, which is crazy. So the guy who your team decided to let go because they wanted to keep you on is outperforming you, outplacing you, and beating you multiple times, and you're not performing in either of the series. You got to do better. You got to do better. And I know hindsight's a crazy thing, but I mean, I'm a man that will admit when I'm wrong. Dude, maybe they should have just kept that motherfucker, dude. Maybe I might eat my words at champs, but, dude. If they kept Merc, dude. They probably could. Dude, Ultra's control is like not that great either. And Merc is dropping a 1.72 in control. That would instantly make their team better. You know? That would make their control better. And Merc's actually a good S&D player, but he came into the event with no S&D strats on this team because, I mean, he literally just spawned in. So, like, they pretty much didn't even have a chance. I mean, dude, it's just insane. It's just insane. Hindsight's a crazy thing. And I think the thing that made Merc way better for, like, this Ultra team. Here I go switching fucking teams, dude. Crazy. The thing that made Merc's better for this Ultra team is his OBJ work. Same thing with Optic. If there's white time, he's not afraid to hop on it. I know Beans is more of a player that, not going to say likes to play for kills, but likes to play away from the hill. But Merc has no problem going on the hill, inviting the pressure to come to him, and just finessing and shitting on kids. He has no problem doing that. So when you have another player that does that, it now frees the SMGs. Oh shit, I don't got to get the hill. Oh my god, this guy's already on it. All of a sudden, like, he's now hard baiting for you. You could go do something else as opposed to Beans. Significantly less OBJ work leaves that work more to the SMGs, who are the superstars on the team, have to do more. So just based off of that, I mean, the Merc pick's honestly like a no-brainer, but that's hindsight. That's hindsight. And I'm surprised Ultra even has a positive record control, but I mean, there has to be like at least like 3-4 teams that have a positive record in control, otherwise it would make no sense. But they're 27-19 at control. They're 14-8 at Vault. They're 11-7 at Proto and 2-4 at Hossie. Like, they just don't play these maps, bro. And Merc just made Optics Hossie control way better, dude. Way better. So imagine. Dude, it's hard. Dude, it's actually hard to talk like a lot by yourself because like you breathe in air and all of a sudden it's like your mouth's dry. I actually don't think I'm like breathing in properly. I gotta breathe in my nose, I think. But yeah, this Ultra team, I mean, just went down a cliff, bro. They're just on the high of highs. They decided to keep their teammate. I mean, I'm pretty much almost like agreeing with everything Ake said, dude. Like, it's business, bro. Like, they were so worried about not upsetting their friend that, I mean, Ultra probably actually did believe it. Like, it's the system that they came Even I believed it, okay? And I honestly, this part of me actually still does believe it, honestly. I actually still do believe it. That's why Ultra got top 3. Optic can get top 3. Even though they're one match away from it, so it's kind of unfair. But I feel this Ultra team has a month to hit the drawing board, and I think they'll do a lot better like this time around. But the bad thing is they're on the hard side of the bracket. They're on the Optic Atlanta FaZe side of the bracket, so, and the Carolina side. So on their side, dude, I don't even know, man. So, like, Atlanta FaZe is going against Optic. Ultra's going to be going against Carolina. That should be an easy first round. I believe they go against Carolina. Is it? They go against Carolina? I got to see. I got to pull up that COD Champs bracket if it's, like, here. They should have it here. They always have it. I mean, they always have that stuff. Yeah, so Ultra gets Ravens. That's a free fucking confidence booster. Okay? That's a free confidence booster. So it's like 2 wins and you already get a fucking top 3 at COD Champs, which is fucking insane, by the way. And then they have to run to Optic or FaZe. I mean, I'd be hoping it'll be Atlanta FaZe because at least we know we've beaten before. I mean, obviously, like, they beat Optic before, but I don't think they've beaten this new Optic yet. Dude, I'm having a hard time talking now. Okay, we're going to take a break with our sponsors, and we'll be back to close out this podcast. Yo, guys, today's episode of Borito Talk is sponsored by me. No, okay. Today's episode of Borito Talk is sponsored by the Borito Takeover YouTube membership, the best membership on all of YouTube. For just $4.99 Canadian, you unlock a bunch of extra behind the scenes, extra breakdowns, extra analysis from yours truly, Borito. A lot of extra content that you will not get on any other YouTube channel for their memberships. Not trying to compare or anything, but it is the best YouTube membership. If you're interested in extra content, extra chill nights, watching breakdowns, analysis, so much good stuff in the archives, and so much more on the way from yours truly, Borito. So hit the join button. Join, support the Borito Takeover on my road to full-time content. This episode of Borito Talk is sponsored by the Borito Takeover YouTube membership. Now back to the podcast. And we're back with the Borito Talk podcast, talking Ultra most likely beating Ravens and then having to go to FaZe Optic. I would prefer FaZe if I were them because they play them way better. Actually, I'm not sure if I'd want to fuck FaZe at this point in time now because they're so good at controlling S&D. I mean, and Ultra probably banned Red Card. FaZe probably banned Vault. Actually, they're going to ban Skyline. This is the one time they banned Skyline. So we're playing Vault. And then a lot of FaZe will pick Rewind. So Ultra's either going to have to play Rewind or Red Card. It's kind of take your poison. And then FaZe is going to have to play either Skyline or Vault, take their poison. But then I just take the S&D and the control. This is a different FaZe from the one that faced Ultra like in the past. So I would have FaZe taking that. And then if they play Optic again, I mean, Optic might just clap that ass again. So they're going to have to fight through the losers again. So just not looking good for their side of the bracket, that's for sure. Not looking good. You don't really get rewarded for being third place in the standings. If anything, it just puts you on the harder side of the bracket. But yeah, this Ultra team's in a slump. I'm not giving up on them quite yet like everybody else. I don't think they're going to win, obviously. I think this is an Optic. I think this is an LA Thieves, Atlanta FaZe to lose. Everyone else is kind of just playing around that. But at top 3, I don't know, because we're not even going to get to see like the teams over the next month, like how much like they've improved. But I would just assume that they're performing at all these. So, I mean, I would just assume that they're trying to get better. Wait, that's dumb. Holy cow. Yo, Burrito at nighttime is cooked. Burrito at nighttime is cooked. And I actually just realized when I was watching this back, you guys can't see the bracket, but you guys don't need to see the bracket anyway. You guys don't need to see the bracket. Well, actually, I'll move this, and that. Look, now you can see the bracket now. Whoa. So, I mean, I'm not doing bracket predictions, but I mean, I'm going to save those. But we're not going to be getting to see the teams play, but the Battle Road for Ultra, they're going to have to chalk it up. Not being able to win this year, I mean, it was pretty much obvious anyway that it was going to be Atlanta FaZe and LA Thieves, but I think there's going to be an asterisk over their name now because they had a chance to get Merc and they didn't get them, and now they're not fucking ever touching top 3. So just in that POV, it's literally going to look bad from a PR point of view. But will they keep this team? Like, I'm thinking, dude, I was thinking Dante in place for Beans would probably be interesting. Granted, the OBJ time would probably be even lower than Beans is, but a guaranteed shooter, guaranteed damage dealer, which kind of fits like the style of what Ultra need in that spot. Honestly, like, they need a damage dealer. They need someone to run around and get some fucking kills consistently. And even if Dante's not playing good, he's always putting down damage. But I need to speed this up because we're almost at the hour mark and it's almost midnight. I have to eat. I have to sleep. I don't know where the time went, but it was a nice bully podcast. It was another bully pod. Just yapping. There are some points in this I'm like, man, I should edit it out, but I'm not going to edit any about. Try to upload this for members only. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. Might just upload this one for members only, maybe. This would be a great fucking members only podcast, you know? Just yapping and shit. This actually might be good. This might be for members only. I'll like this side as I'm uploading it. But actually, no, but the sponsorship in the middle, I don't know. That sponsorship in the middle is more for people that aren't members. But anyways, I'll talk more about these teams in depth. Obviously, I just wanted to get some initial thoughts out. That's basically what this podcast is. It's just like initial thoughts, to be honest. I'm going to get more in depth with every individual team. Every team in Champs is going to get their own individual profile YouTube video, so be on the lookout for that. But in terms of the matches, who have I not talked about yet? I'm going to save Atlanta FaZe and Thieves for last. So it's basically just Optic. Just Optic, LAT, and FaZe. LAG also has to make some changes. Something I want to say about LAG real quick. I want to say this about LAG. I'm not going to talk about Ravens. I'll talk about them in the player profile or like on stream. The thing about LAG, I don't know why I was fucking thinking about this at work, but I was thinking about it. I was thinking, Johnny could use the excuse, oh man, you know, I'm just on a dog shit team, like they're terrible, like, I mean, this is why I can't reach my full potential. But I don't think Lunars or Fellow could use that excuse because their SMGs are good, but it's the ARs that are bad. So it's like Kismet and Johnny that could say, oh yeah, like, yeah, fuck, we're being held back. But I don't think Lunars or Fellow, I mean, I guess overall just because like, the team's doing bad, but you already got 2 good SMGs. It's just you AR boys that need to do more. So, you know, who knows? That could be another Vancouver, but it's not going to be. But that was my interesting thought on that. And then real quick with Carolina, I just want to go through like their one match that they played. One match. God, am I on the Major IV tourney? I am. Holy cow. Where's the one Carolina match? And it's like blink and you miss it. Blink and you miss it. Ultra Ravens. So Ultra Ravens, I mean, Ravens definitely could have won that, to be honest. That could have been like the hardest fucking Nezzle of all time. Just lose the hard points and like you get the S&Ds. And they definitely should have won that S&D that last round. Dude, that Gwyn 5-5. Probably going to put into a YouTube video. But he's back granny's on the hop up by like the glass window. And Insight's up top. And Insight like barges the door down. And I'm not sure if it was like the sound of the gunfire across the map or something that maybe drowned out the sound. But Gwyn was close enough, dude. You could hear doors from like across the map. And he was like right beside that. And he didn't hear it. If he heard that, he would have known Insight was up top and played for him late. But he clearly didn't even know Insight was there. But if he heard that one door barge, that's the one thing. I heard them talking about the flank, and I was like screaming through my monitor, like, he barged the door. He barged the door. But Parasite is right, like in terms of he theoretically, since they didn't hear like the door bust, he could be anywhere. Like, yeah, he could be playing an island back there, but he could easily have like wrapped around like the back of the map or like around like the boat side and like flank. Like, you have no idea what he's actually doing. So that's a hindsight thing to even say. AKA Benjay. Okay, yeah. Holy cow. God, it's almost time to wrap this one up. I'm just going to talk about LA Thieves and FaZe. But real quick on the Ravens, though. I think it's more of like a player personality thing. I think it's at that point where like the slashers and the Titas kind of hate life. Gwyn's probably just angry that he can't get a superstar performance on land and help carry his team the same way that he does online. So there's probably just a lot of frustration. Then you got Dylan Rex walking into that scenario, that shithole. I feel so bad for him. You know, it's scenarios like this. You put challengers on teams like this, and then their stock gets ruined. But I can't even blame Carolina. I could blame more Dylan Rex. I mean, you're hopping a team with a good trio. Like, you're not going to get picked up onto Atlanta FaZe. Like, you know, it's teams like this you need to prove your worth on in order to make it the next step. Like, if Joe could prove his worth on that LAG team and then get onto LAT and then get on to Ultra and probably next year is probably going to be on like a top 3 team, you got to take those steps. And Dylan has a good foundation, but he's not making the most of it. I think Johnny, in his situation with the team he has, definitely making the most of his situation. There are some players who, yeah, they're not on the best team because, like, how many good teams could there really be, dude? Like, you got to make the best of what you got. There's players like Scrappy who became undeniable, and, like, they did it. Granted, his past way different. In terms of teams, but like, you know, but I'm going to get into the LA Thieves phase real quick, and then we're going to close it out here because I've been talking too much. I'm tired. My voice already needs a break. So I'll break down this series sometime during like the month. But as you can see, dude, this is just two Titan teams playing against each other. Take a look how even everything looks. Like, everyone, like, no one has a super crazy KD. Like, there's a lot of trades going on. There's just a lot of... Dude, I love watching Call of Duty like this, and that's why I love watching these two teams play, because you won't see this when they play any other team. Like, that protocol control, dude, is an example. The intense amount of trading and big gunfights in two pieces, and then a recovery two-piece, recovery trade by the other team, and the just pendulum swing going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is high-level fucking Call of Duty, you know? This is high-level Call of Duty, and we don't see it from these other teams, and this is why I'm mind-blown. These other teams aren't, like, taking notes, because... You know, if Atlanta FaZe is playing like a Boston Breach on fuck protocol control, like they pop that two-piece and they're on the point, you know, and they hard capped it. But against LAT, it's like you pop the two-piece. Oh, but Hydra's on the flank. Oh, he gets someone over here. Or you pop that two-piece and you get traded. You know, there's always an answer back. There's always a reply. This is like two Titans playing. This is what it fucking felt like. Just Giga Chad the whole series long. Obviously... near the end after the red card, because I thought LA Thieves outclassed FaZe on that red card S&D, which I'm going to break down later into the month. And then the Hacienda also going to break down this whole fucking series, honestly. But I think This is a series that could go either way. Depending on the day, depending on the maps, this series could go either way. Like those S&Ds, like you could argue like the map 2, like these troll rounds 2 bucket of 1. And I mean, they outclassed them on the red card. So I think LAT's S&D just got way better. But could argue the S&D choices. I didn't really like that red card map got in there. Because it is LAT's bread and butter. But I think FaZe is confident in playing it. But the map got banned on them so often by everybody else. And LA Thieves got a lot of good reps on it. And also, they're just also equally a good team. But Atlanta FaZe did beat them on the map before. So, I mean, it all could just be hindsight shit. Because it's Rewind, Red Card Dealership. So, leave Hacienda and Protocol. But I like these fucking banned Protocol. So, it would actually just leave... it would just leave Hacienda. And I think FaZe is just more confident on Red Card. So, I mean, I can't really blame them. But... this is a series that could go either way. I mean, I wanted Atlanta FaZe to pick Hacienda, especially seeing how Miami just beat LA Thieves on that map and how FaZe almost came back and beat Miami. Like, you know, LA Thieves is very vulnerable on that map right now. And you decide to play them on red card because you finally want to get that itch off your back of being able to beat them on the map because you got smoked the first time at that first major, and then you played them again later in the major. Game was a lot closer. They learned from their mistakes. So now they're thinking the third time, we really did learn. We could actually be in this time. That was a square up map 1. Probably would have been better picking Hasi. But, I mean, we'll get more into this later. I'm just breaking down the series. But all I wanted to say is these two teams are far and wide ahead of everybody else. These other teams may be able to, like, take some series because even though these teams are very good, it is very easy to lose like a best of 5. Dude, like, you could lose an S&D. You could come out slow or cold and drop that map 1. You know, next thing you know, like, you get Neslo. Like, there's so many things that could happen in a best of 5. But I think in a best of 7, a best of 9, there's no team that's beating Atlanta FaZe or LA Thieves besides each other. It's literally just the way it is. They have the deepest map pools. They have the endurance to actually play even when they're doing bad, come back. You know, it's a marathon. Like, this grand finals is a marathon. That's why Vancouver can't run the marathon yet, because they're not built like that. They're just not built like that. So either of these teams are going to be your 2025 world champions. I mean, that's all I got to say. I mean, but I will say, I mean, I do got to commend LA Thieves because they realized last time they played Atlanta FaZe, they got super hard Neslo'd, and granted they lost the control, but then they also won the other one. Their S&D improved. That red card S&D, I'm surprised Atlanta FaZe didn't watch LA Thieves play the shit fucking 2 times earlier and take notes, because LA Thieves basically did the exact same thing. I mean, obviously I'm going to break it down, but I think LA Thieves the first round, they had defense and they like hard baited, like going for flank on the P5 side, and it just made Atlanta FaZe tweak every single round after that. They're on offense. They always felt they need to watch their back no matter what. I mean, granted, teams fucking do that anyway, but Atlanta FaZe was anticipating it. And it kind of felt like after that round, they were kind of playing into the way LA Thieves wanted, and LA Thieves was making small adjustments, obviously. But I think the game from that first round was in the palm of LA Thieves' hands, and it was just great from them for being able to actually dictate the game. And so I think, honestly, upsets are possible in these best of 5s at COD Champs, but if I'm Atlanta FaZe, I'm LA Thieves, I'm practicing how to beat each other. I mean, obviously LA Thieves already beat them. But if I'm Atlanta FaZe, what are things I need to work on in order to beat LA Thieves? I'm not even thinking about the other teams, because if you get better at the things to beat LA Thieves, you're just going to be able to obviously beat every other team. Like, I think Atlanta FaZe's hard point map pool, it looks good against every other team because they can basically play them on red card or rewind no matter what. But when you come against the one team in the league that's better than you at red card hardpoint, you all of a sudden don't have that second hardpoint map to fall back on. And then they just ban rewind. And then you have to play red card to the one team that's not better. The one team that is fucking better than you at it. And then you just lose. Dude, I get so tired sometimes. I start stumbling over my words and shit. You know, it just happens. But I was really hoping we would see that dealership Game 7. That would be insane, dude. That would be insane. Because that map is so fluky and so small. Like, the rounds will probably be so back and forth. There'd be some cars, some nades. Like, you know, there'd be a lot of things going on there. But I think a lot of FaZe, because they lost, like the SG, they're probably going to go back to the drawing board on, like, the red card and the rewind. I mean, all these maps, they're probably going to go back to the drawing board on S&D. They probably have some things, obviously, they've been saving for champs, maybe. But they need to clean up at their S&D. They need to clean up at all 3 game modes. I mean, honestly, they really do. Because S&D pretty much against every other team, pretty good. But against LA Thieves, proved otherwise. Control, they're Hossy. They used to be the best Hossy control team. But now that's like slowly faded away. They've been pretty inconsistent. They've been losing to teams on the map they shouldn't be losing on. And I think it just comes down to like the team that you're playing. Like LA Thieves, like, we're just playing so many ratty spots, always hitting them in the back. A lot of the times, like, players like a BZ on offense, like, would get control of LA Thieves spawn, but didn't know what to do with it and was taking too much time trying to think of what to do with it, while LA Thieves was just playing, like, their spawn, playing corners. Scrap was in a corner just in the middle of P1, like, playing A. Like, just a lot of ratty corners that Atlanta FaZe could not read. And then obviously they beat them on the even on that phase defenses. I mean, Hydra's just fucking taking over, like the plat control. I mean, just outslaying them like a lot of time. But I think that map was pretty bad from like a BZ, but I'm gonna go back on that later anyway. He did not have a good map there, but I mean, like, a lot of them didn't. There's just a lot of dying from them on that map, like unnecessary deaths. Shit, this is going over an hour. I'm actually gonna end it here. But yeah, hope you enjoyed my YAP session. And this is why I don't record any podcasts at night, because at night I stumble over my words. Let's see who won real quick. Hurricanes, Panther. God, I say Panther. Carolina won. Wait, what's this series now? What's the series now? Is it, hold on, I'm actually going to find out real quick. I'm sorry, I'm doing a quick NHL checkup real quick. Wait, no. Florida leads 3-1. Oh, okay, shit, yeah, damn. Yeah, so Florida probably making the Stanley Cup Finals again. I don't think Carolina's coming back on that one. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed my YAP session. It's 11:46 p.m. I'm going to try to cut this, edit it, upload it to be on your doors in the morning for my EU Mandem. You will be seeing this in the morning. This has been the Borito YAP session. Tired as fuck. Don't know why I recorded this. Parts of this are very bad audio, and I apologize because whenever I'm tired, I stumble over my words. And it's hard to breathe when you're the only one talking consistently for an hour. Talking consistently for an hour with no pauses, trying not to take pauses, because that, like, silence, because I know, like, sometimes I want, like, the Breaking Point podcast, and there's those moments of silence, like when TackRab accidentally mutes his mic, or when they're talking over each other, and then there's, like, those pauses. I hate those pauses, because all of a sudden I think my headset's, like, broken. I'm like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden they start talking again. I'm like, oh shit. But at least I'm warning you. But yeah, hope you enjoyed my YAP session. Follow the podcast, Apple Music, Spotify. Join the Borito YouTube membership. I have a new coaching tier in there. VOD review sessions. $20 a month for VOD review and extra content. Can't get that deal anywhere else, you know. After I get 1,000 YouTube Burrito Takeover members, I will quit my job. But we'll see if that happens. But until then, this has been Burrito. Bada boom, bada bye. We'll see you next time. Au revoir.